The Young and the Restless spoilers preview week of May 5 to May 9, 2025. Claire Grace Newman's moral dilemma, torn between love and loyalty as the tension in The Young and the Restless reaches a breaking point. Claire Grace Newman finds herself caught in a difficult moral dilemma. Just as she is preparing to take the next step in her relationship with Kyle Abbott, moving in together and solidifying their bond, she is faced with a challenge that forces her to question her loyalty and her values. Victor Newman, ever the master manipulator, has set his sights on tearing apart Claire's relationship with Kyle, using Audra Charles as his instrument. Claire has always been close to her family, especially her grandfather Victor, whose influence on her life cannot be understated. However, her relationship with Kyle is something entirely different. It represents her independence, her choice to carve her own path in life, and her escape from the shadows of her family's control. Now, with Victor's plot to separate her from Kyle, Claire finds herself standing at a crossroads. Does she remain loyal to her family, or does she choose the man she loves and the life they've started to build together? Victor's plan to use Audra to break up Kyle and Claire is a direct attack on their relationship. Audra, who has been manipulating the situation behind the scenes, is now in a position where she must act, driven by Victor's instructions. Claire, knowing her grandfather's tendency to demand loyalty at any cost, is left to wonder how far Victor will go to achieve his goals. As Claire prepares to move in with Kyle, she must now decide whether she will stand up to Victor's influence or allow herself to be swayed by his power. Nikki Newman, who has seen firsthand the destructive nature of Victor's schemes, is aware of the emotional toll this will take on Claire. She intends to gently prepare Victor for the news of Claire's decision, but it's clear that Victor will not take this betrayal lightly. His anger could push him to extremes, and Claire may soon find herself in a situation where she must choose between her family and the man she loves. This moral dilemma will test Claire's strength, and the consequences of her decision could change the course of her future. Victor's wrath, Audra's uncertain future as Claire's relationship with Kyle is threatened, Audra Charles finds herself in a precarious position. Her role in Victor's plans has been clear: manipulate the situation to break up Claire and Kyle, and, in doing so, strengthen Victor's hold over the Abbott family. However, as Victor's fury grows, Audra's place in his schemes becomes more uncertain. Victor, ever the pragmatic and ruthless businessman, has no qualms about discarding people who no longer serve his interests. If Audra fails to deliver on her mission to destroy Claire and Kyle's relationship, it's not hard to imagine Victor turning on her. As the plot against Claire escalates, Audra's role in Victor's schemes may become expendable, and she could find herself facing the consequences of her failure. For Audra, the stakes couldn't be higher. She's caught between her loyalty to Victor and her desire to protect her own future. If she continues to follow Victor's commands, she risks not only the wrath of Claire and Kyle but also her standing within the Newman family. If she defies him, she might find herself cast aside in the same way Victor has discarded others before her. Audra's next steps are critical, and the consequences of her actions will determine her fate in Genoa City. Cole Howard's health, a deteriorating situation. Meanwhile, Cole Howard's condition continues to worsen, and the once optimistic outlook on his health is starting to look bleak. The fans who have followed Cole's journey back to Genoa City now watch with growing concern as his persistent cough becomes more severe. Victoria Newman, concerned for his well-being, has insisted that he see a doctor, but the prognosis may not be as simple as a cold or flu. Cole, despite his best efforts to maintain his usual optimism, is clearly struggling. The relentless coughing and fatigue are taking their toll, and he is beginning to realize that something more serious is at play. When he finally visits the doctor next week, he may receive a diagnosis that could change everything. The possibility of a serious illness looms large, and Victoria, who has been by his side throughout his trials, is desperate for answers. The looming health crisis adds another layer of emotional complexity to Cole and Victoria's relationship. With time running out, their desire to marry becomes even more urgent. But as the doctors offer their diagnosis, the hope that Cole will recover begins to fade. What was once a fight for his health is now becoming a race against time to create lasting memories with the woman he loves. Victor's reign of control, a family in turmoil. As if the personal struggles of Cole, Claire, and the rest of Genoa City weren't enough, Victor Newman continues to exert his control over every aspect of the lives around him. His manipulation of Audra to break up Claire and Kyle's relationship is just one example of his growing influence, and his anger at the idea of losing Claire's loyalty is only going to escalate. Nikki's attempt to prepare Victor for the news of Claire's decision will likely be met with resistance and fury. Victor does not like to be defied, especially by his own family, and this betrayal, or perceived betrayal, from Claire will likely push him to take drastic measures. His relationship with Claire could be permanently damaged, and the fallout will affect not only their family dynamics but also the power struggles within the business world of Genoa City. A family torn apart, Claire's decision and the future of Genoa City. As the storylines converge, the choices that Claire, Victoria, and others make will have lasting consequences for their families. Claire's moral dilemma, torn between loyalty to her family and her love for Kyle, will define her path forward. Will she remain under Victor's thumb, or will she stand up for herself and her relationship? Victor's anger at Claire's decision and his manipulation of Audra will only intensify, and it's unclear whether Audra can continue to fulfill her role in his plan. Cole's worsening health and his desire to marry Victoria before it's too late will add another layer of complexity to the story. The next few weeks will see these characters make choices that could change the course of their futures forever. For Victor, the idea of losing control over his family and business is an unbearable thought, and he will stop at nothing to maintain his power. But for Claire and the others, the time for standing up to Victor may have arrived, and the consequences will be far-reaching. Audra's mission and Claire's crossroads. The emotional tug-of-war. Audra Charles is firmly entrenched in Victor Newman's plan to tear Kyle Abbott and Claire Grace Newman apart, doing whatever it takes to drive a wedge between them. Victor's insistence on using Audra as a pawn in his manipulative schemes is clear, and she is working tirelessly to fulfill her mission. However, as the storyline develops, Claire's emotional turmoil over her father, Cole's deteriorating health, and her own relationship with Kyle will force her to reconsider her plans. If Cole's condition worsens and his time becomes more limited, Claire may make the difficult decision to stay by his side, halting her plans to move in with Kyle. As Claire spends more time with Cole, Kyle is left to reflect on their situation. The growing divide between him and Claire, coupled with her deepening focus on Cole, could lead to Kyle seeking comfort elsewhere. The possibility of him reconnecting with Summer Newman becomes a very real one. Their past bond and unresolved feelings might reignite, making Kyle question whether his future truly lies with Claire or if he should take a step back and reevaluate what's best for him. Meanwhile, Audra's position becomes more precarious. Her involvement in Victor's plans has always been risky, and as Claire pulls away from Kyle, the stakes only rise. If Victor is displeased with the results, there is a strong possibility that Audra will find herself once again discarded, much like she has been in the past. Her position in the Newman world is fragile, and it remains to be seen whether she can secure her future or if Victor will ultimately turn his wrath on her for failing to break up Claire and Kyle. Lily Winter's secret admirer, a mysterious intrigue and a new twist. The Young and the Restless introduces a mysterious figure in the life of Lily Winters. It seems that someone has been secretly admiring her, and though it initially appears that this admirer may be Damian Kane, things are not always as they seem. The identity of this secret admirer remains shrouded in mystery, leaving fans to wonder if there's someone else in the background with an interest in Lily. Lily, always the professional and composed woman, might not immediately recognize the signs of being admired from afar. However, the mystery surrounding this individual could lead to unforeseen complications in her life, especially as she tries to navigate her career and personal relationships. The prospect of someone hidden in the shadows, watching her every move, could cause tension in her interactions with others, especially with those she trusts. Could this secret admirer be someone close to her, or will this story lead to a more unexpected revelation? The drama surrounding Lily's secret admirer promises to add an intriguing layer to her character arc as the story progresses. Mariah Copeland's secret: will Tessa be the key to unveiling the truth? Mariah Copeland, known for her honesty and straightforward nature, is hiding something from her wife, Tessa Porter. Mariah's secret is becoming more apparent, and as Tessa begins to sense that something is off, the tension between the couple grows. Tessa, though intuitive, is unsure of what exactly is bothering Mariah, and this growing distance could lead to a confrontation. Tessa might turn to Daniel Romalotti, Jr. for support, as he is someone who understands the challenges she's been facing, particularly in her relationship with Mariah. Tessa may feel the need to confide in Daniel, seeking guidance or reassurance. However, in doing so, she might find herself in a situation where she questions her own trust in Mariah. Will Tessa push Mariah to open up, or will she keep her concerns to herself? The drama surrounding Mariah's secret and Tessa's eventual discovery will add emotional depth to their relationship, as well as test their bond. Michael Baldwin's dangerous decisions. Pushing Victor's limits as Michael Baldwin continues to make increasingly risky decisions, it is clear that his actions are beginning to anger Victor Newman. Michael's recent decisions, which often put him at odds with his family and Victor's wishes, are a growing concern. Michael's involvement in Jack Abbott's business dealings, combined with his increasing defiance of Victor's authority, has pushed him to a tipping point. Victor, never one to tolerate disobedience or defiance, will likely react with extreme anger to Michael's actions. His wrath could have severe consequences, not just for Michael's professional life but also for his personal relationships. Michael's ability to balance his loyalty to Victor and his growing disillusionment with the Newman family will be tested. The tension between them is escalating, and it's only a matter of time before Michael's actions come to a head, forcing him to make an ultimate decision that could change his life forever. Adam and Chelsea's complex relationship, a new chapter at Newman Media. Meanwhile, Adam Newman is beginning to realize that Chelsea Lawson is about to make a move at Newman Media. Adam, ever the opportunist, is intrigued by the idea of working with Chelsea again. The dynamics between them have always been complicated, filled with both romantic tension and professional rivalry. As Chelsea prepares to join Newman Media, Adam sees this as an opportunity to rekindle their relationship, both personally and professionally. Chelsea's decision to join Newman Media, however, is not just about working with Adam. She has her own agenda, and her reasons for joining the company may go beyond just the prospect of working alongside Adam. This complex situation will likely lead to tension and conflict, especially as Adam's feelings for Chelsea remain unresolved. While he may be excited about the idea of working with her, Chelsea's own motivations might not align with his, and the clash of agendas could result in a series of power struggles at Newman Media. As Adam and Chelsea navigate their re-entry into each other's professional lives, the drama is sure to unfold. Will they be able to put aside their differences and work together, or will their unresolved pasts continue to drive a wedge between them? The power struggle between them, combined with the pressure from Victor's influence, will create an explosive dynamic at Newman Media, adding another layer of complexity to their already complicated relationship. Conclusion: secrets, betrayals, and uncertainty in Genoa City. With all of these intertwining storylines? Claire's dilemma, Audra's precarious position, the mysterious admirer of Lily Winters, Mariah's secret, Michael's defiance of Victor, and Adam and Chelsea's return to Newman Media. The stakes in The Young and the Restless have never been higher. As characters grapple with loyalty, betrayal, and the consequences of their actions, the drama in Genoa City continues to intensify. Each character faces their own set of challenges, with relationships on the brink of collapse and family dynamics in flux. The coming weeks will see these storylines collide, and fans can expect to witness explosive confrontations, heartfelt revelations, and, ultimately, life-changing decisions. Genoa City is about to witness the unraveling of many carefully built facades, and only time will tell who will emerge victorious and who will be left to pick up the pieces of their broken lives.